It's cold.
Yeah, it's a little nippy. That's why it's a short episode tonight.
Yes. That because no one has sent anything in. We was looking, but some stories we found weren't really for the theme that we're setting up for it. So as we posted on our Facebook, our Twitter, we posted on our Reddit page as well. Tonight will be top 10 horror stories, true stories, or fictional stories, as well as...
It's just kind of relaxed and groovy episode.
Yeah, until we get more fluent into it, but right now, that's what it is.
Yeah, like I spent so much writing about vampires, like Vlad the Impaler, Elizabeth Bathory, Mercy Brown, and there was just a bunch of boring facts that only like myself would be interested in.
Or I feel like people that would watch it.
Yeah, like you never heard of Mercy Brown until I told you.
Nope.
About Mercy Brown. And then last night I was telling you about Albert Fish. Sorry, his name is Albert Fish. That demented serial killer.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah, he was a sick puppy. So this was just more casual, relaxed. It's spooky season. I'm in pajamas.
Yeah. So with the podcast that we're doing, it's going to refrain around the paranormal and supernatural as well. But we're going to take it into the point where it's kind of true crime stories, true horror crime stories, unsolved mysteries, as well as a few other things. We're going to slowly adapt more data into it, look at more stuff, and have more up-to-date and continuing stories as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're just starting out. This is our second episode, so, you know, we don't have a lot of traction to go on except for what I could come up with.
And what I could research in my free time when I'm not working.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, I just always grew up, like, being in the 3rd grade and knowing who Lizzie Borden was and nobody else knowing who the hell Lizzie Borden was.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be a chill episode. Won't be as long as our first one. But we are going to get into it. And with it, on the top 10 of...
You want to do horror stories, horror movies, or vampires? Because I did not do stories. I did movies and vampires.
Just do vampires because you have that completely set on what you have with it.
Well, my top favorite vampire is Spike from Buffy and Angel. Spike is my all-time favorite vampire. For those of you who've seen the show, you could totally get why. He's only seen a few episodes. I showed him the Smile Time in Angel, and that was just the best episode ever. Spike is the best. Okay, Spike is seriously the best vampire. He's charismatic, he's funny, he's been through a lot of shit. I mean, not as much as Angel. Not as much as Angel.
The only reason they even have that much shit is because it was a 90s TV series, and he was the...
1997, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 90s TV series to where he was the main... Not the main, but one of the dramas in it. Horrible backstory with him, been through a lot of shit, been alive.
Yeah, like when he was immortal, it was so sad. Like, he was like this meek little guy, and he was writing love letters to this girl, and she just totally rejected him in front of everyone, and he was so distraught. And I think it was Drusilla who made him into a vampire, and then he like butchered everyone. Like, I think he killed his own mom too.
Fun.
I think, if I remember, like, I was like really, really young when I was watching Buffy, and I need to rewatch it with you so you understand my references. Like when I go to you, would you say it was a breakaway puppet? He has no clue what I'm talking about. No clue.
Nope. Because I didn't watch it that much.
Yeah, you were charmed.
Yeah, which?
Yeah, I was just a little gal sitting on my dad's lap watching Buffy. Every Tuesday night when my dad didn't have to do Boy Scouts, it was on for Buffy.
The premise is one is 10 vampires, top 10 vampires for you.
Well, Spike's definitely number 1. My list is in the room. I didn't bring my list out. I wrote it down. It's on the computer.
Okay.
But I remember Spike was number 1. Angel was number 2. Not Buffy Angel, the show Angel. Mm-hmm. That one, because Smile Time. I made a felt. My nose comes off. He's just more sarcastic. He was a lot less brooding in Angel.
It was his own TV series. It was spin-off of that was.
Yeah, and it was amazing. Both shows were amazing. I mean, that just shaped my childhood so much.
I made it worse, whatever. But anyways, so that's your top 10 are Angel, or Spike, Angel.
Shoot, who was number 3? Oh, David from The Lost Boys.
Good movie. A little more better reference to some vampires. But other than that, a lot of the remakes they've come out with are just shit.
One of the actual good remakes I actually really enjoyed was Fright Night.
Okay, yeah. The original Fright Night was good. I've seen the original, and I've seen the remake.
I was very proud of you. I was very proud of you. Oh, I've seen one.
Yes, I've seen both of them, but as well as old and new. The original had its quirks to it, but it was still good. The remake, due to better graphics fields and everything else, it made it much better.
Yeah, I was really nervous with the remake of Fright Night because I loved the original because I think it's Chris Sarandon, you know him as the voice of Jack Skellington or Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride. He was the vampire, the main vampire in the original Fright Night. So that just adds more charm, in my opinion. And then for me, what sold for the remake was David Tennant in leather pants. Sold, man. I didn't care how bad it was. I love David Tennant in leather pants and Anton.
Okay, well, actually, I take it back because besides some of the new ones, Dracula Untold was a better variation.
So with Dracula Untold, my brother actually did say it best. Dracula Untold is definitely, think of it more as a vampire superhero movie. And as someone who's been obsessed with vampires since she was like the age of 5, and I always nitpick what they get right or wrong with the Vlad Dracul story, that one was actually the most accurate. I don't really want to say like that.
It actually is the one that's most accurate because it depicts on why he did what he did.
Yeah, he was, because in Transylvania he's considered a hero. He was defending his home from the Ottomans, and it was a good one. And I'm so mad Universal doesn't consider it part of the Dark Universe.
No, they never will because of the way it was portrayed. That's why.
It was so stupid. And instead you give us the Mummy, and the only good part was frickin' Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
That movie was shit.
It was. The only good part was Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Other than that, it had its good parts, but that was a dumb movie.
No, there was another good part. His dead best friend.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was fun. Him and Russell Crowe. And Russell Crowe. Everything else just sucked. Mm-hmm. Give us Brendan Fraser. Just give us Brendan Fraser. Even my almost 80-year-old aunt loves Brendan Fraser and can quote the movie with us.
But let's see.
Talk about other vampires or.
Well,
I mean, you love True Blood.
Yeah, True Blood's good.
You love True Blood.
That show was funny. It was. I've seen all the seasons. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, you loved it when Eric lost his memory. I'm sorry.
That was good.
I just didn't like it because I know how the books end, and it was just so different, and and especially killing Tara off screen. That was low. I mean, we grew up with you were with Team Tara. You were Team Tara, man.
Well, that's the reason why they did it because they didn't want to see her die. It would have caused
trouble. You see Bill get shanked pretty much with Suki on top of him. Spoilers.
I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it probably. It's just a show that has its own.
Yeah. Like, come on, they did not have to kill Alcide.
Was he killed in the books?
I don't think he was.
Had to look it up.
Because I remember, it's been so long, but I remember in the books, Suki and Eric got married at one point too.
Not surprised.
I don't know, it's just the thing with HBO and adaptations. Look what happened with Game of Thrones.
Not gonna go there.
But we
just no, not gonna go there. We're not doing this about Game of Thrones because that's all straight up nonfiction.
You can talk about how your dad is Bill Compton.
Well, he doesn't go by Bill.
I know, but
he hates being called Bill. But my father's name is William Compton. Everyone used to call him Bill, and his main character of the show is Bill.
That's how I was introduced my father-in-law. His name was Bill Compton, like the vampire. Abel Night Road. It's like Trinity Blood. The anime.
Okay.
But I don't really count Abel because Abel is a Krushnik. But
yes, and also a cartoon.
Anime.
Okay, anime.
In the words of my father, animated epic. Animated epic. Like Avatar.
Unless you're referring to the movie.
We don't. What movie? There was no movie. No movie. There was no Avatar, The Last Airbender movie. Nope. Just a cartoon. And the books. There was no movie.
Alright, we're getting off topic.
No, but Abel was a very, very fun, Trinity Blood's a very fun vampire show. Like, you just starting getting into it. It's my favorite one. And Abel, like, when he's in his human form, is just so cute and meek and everything. And then when he turns into a Krushnik, it's like one badass mofo. So I remember I added Abel Night Road. Oh, Celine from Underworld.
Okay, yeah. Lestat.
Oh yeah, of course Lestat's on there. But I like the book versions. Like, Interview with the Vampire is one of the few Tom Cruise movies I do enjoy. I mean, I think it was before Tom Cruise went Tom Cruise crazy.
Probably. Too many Mission Impossible movies he did.
But I think like every person who's obsessed with vampires loves Lestat. I mean, my personal favorite vampire from the Vampire Chronicles is actually Marius. Yeah, you have no idea who Marius is.
No, I don't, because I'm not a freak like you like that.
And yeah, you married me.
Mm-hmm.
No, my favorite's actually Marius. He was a vampire like made in like ancient Rome. Dogs. Like they butchered Lestat's origin story in Queen of the Damned. Like, remember in Queen of the Damned, the vampire who made Lestat?
Mm-hmm.
That's Marius. But in the books, it was this crazed vampire. I think his name was like Madness or something. And Lestat doesn't meet Marius until after Claudia dies.
Mm.
But he was always my favorite because he was like this like Roman like aristocrat, like suave and everything, and I loved him.
Okay, referring to something like that.
Who else did I have? I had Celine from Underworld because
Lilith? No, Lilith wasn't one.
she was considered the first vampire, if you go by the Judaism, and I believe it was also Islamic one, Adam's first wife. And then I was telling you about how some people think Judas was the first vampire.
Judas was not. Judas was just a betrayer for 10 pieces of silver.
But like in Wes Craven's Dracula, the one with Gerard Butler. Thank God he's not singing in it.
Just don't go there. Just don't.
But they portrayed as Judas as the first vampire, which would, like I was saying, makes a lot of sense because he betrayed Christ. You're the Christian, you know what kind of tree he hung himself on.
Actually, I can't remember the kind of tree it was, but he did.
Is that ash?
I believe so, but I'd have to look it up to see.
Yeah, because in some versions, the vampire can only be killed with wood from
the tree, yes.
And it would make sense why some vampires like silver crosses.
Yes, because silver is what was given to Judas when he betrayed Christ to have him crucified.
Yeah, so that's why some people that version of Dracula was actually very, very interesting. And of course, I love anything Wes Craven does. Who else did I have? Oh, Simone! From The Librarian, Curse of the Judas Chalice.
Oh, yes. Louisiana girl.
Yeah, Simone! I can't remember her name. I was like Santa Keating or something. She was in the show Castle with Nathan Fillion.
Don't know.
But she's one of my favorite vampires. She's just so cute. When she used to go with the fangs. You so bite. She was one of my favorite vampires. Oh, of course, Bela Lugosi's Dracula, the one that started it all, for me.
The originals.
Duh. I mean, Christopher Lee did a pretty good Dracula, too.
Mm-hmm.
Back in, I think it was the 60s and 70s, Hammer films.
I think so as well.
I think it was Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. And it's been so long, because most of those films I see, like, when I think of the 70s vampires, I go to, like, my awful lesbian vampire films, like The Vampire Lovers and Countess Dracula. I have them on DVD, don't want to watch them. And then that really, really funky one, Andy Warhol's Blood for Dracula. If you're an Andy Warhol fan, watch it, but I don't recommend it. It was really, really weird, and I've seen some weird shit. Even I was like, what am I watching? And then he had another one, Flesh for Frankenstein. I never got to finish that one all the way through. I just fell asleep. So that's what my mind goes to when I think of like 70s, 60s vampire films. Besides the Fearless Vampire Killers or Pardon Me, But Your Teeth Are in My Neck. Yeah. That was a Roman Polanski one with, I think Sharon Tate was in it.
I honestly don't know any of those.
You know Sharon Tate, though. She was the one.
I know Sharon Tate. Yes,
yeah,
I
you
know.
know Sharon Tate. Yeah, no, like.
But referring to like movies that they've done like back then, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you only know because of me.
Yeah, the first movie back I've ever seen probably is ones that aren't horror or anything like that.
No, you watched Spider Baby.
Partially.
Yeah, you got bored.
Yes. It was just no. That was just weird.
Spider Baby is a classic.
It can be a classic in its own, but I was so bored watching it.
You always get bored during black and white films.
Some, yes, not all of them.
Always. I can't remember what else I had in my list. Do you have any vampires you want to mention?
There's not really many that I know besides just the general ones that we've talked about, because I've seen multiple variations of it, unless you want to go to the Van Helsing movie with Dracula himself in it, but even that adaptation of him was weird.
I don't know, I kind of liked it because when we watched The Vampire's Assistants,
Okay,
the guy who played Dracula was one of the Vampanese.
yes.
So I was like, oh, I know him! I was the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I know him!
But no, I've seen a lot of vampire movies, I've seen a lot of Dracula movies. Like, honestly, the only semi-good ones are the Bela Lugosi ones, the classics, or Dracula Untold, which I actually do really like, or even Underworld ones where there's vampires in it. But other than that, most of the ones that come out suck.
Yeah, no, that's really true, but it's the cheese.
They can be cheese all they want that make them good, but in the
live on
end,
cheese.
you can live all you want, but I honestly sometimes need a decent plot to it to get into it. If it doesn't have a decent plot for it, I'm not going to watch it.
Okay, well, let me get Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
It's
also Tales from the Crypt.
Besides that,
It's great.
I enjoy From Dusk Till Dawn.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that she was number 10. Sent to go Pandemonium.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason she got on the list? Selma Hayek.
But other than that, it's just all... I've seen my variation of horror movies, my variation of monster movies, and I've watched a lot of paranormal movies. Going with that, with the paranormal, I've seen every Paranormal Activity. God, the first one was really good. That one actually scared me. The first Paranormal Activity movie actually scared me. The ones came after it, it had its jump scares that got me, but other than that, the plot to them just kept thickening and more and more. It's like there's never going to be an end to this.
Yeah, I think I stopped with the Mexican one.
I've seen them all.
I can't remember which one. I got like halfway through, and then I saw the dogs, and I'm like, oh, the dogs are gonna die, and I turned it off. I learned my lesson with VHS 2.
I don't think they did.
Ever since VHS 2, I don't take chances.
I think a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, since the remake of Evil Dead and VHS 2, I don't take chances with dogs in movies. Tank and Grandpa broke me. Well, why don't you just say what's your favorite, like, all-time horror movie?
Legitimately, one that sticks out the most, has scared me the most, to where I can probably watch it again now, but for the long time I could not watch it. Fuck off. No thank you on that one.
Was that it?
Don't even say his name. Don't. You never say his name.
We are not near any mirrors.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? Look ahead of you.
Okay.
That is technically a mirror. Our phone is technically a mirror.
He is so paranoid.
I just can't.
The myth
fucking don't even say his name. I'll fucking get up and leave this podcast right now.
Cover your ears.
Fuck off. No, you already said it once. They know what we're talking about. I'll never watch the movies again.
I whispered it.
I don't care. I've seen the movie.
It's not like it's Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is a fucking comedy legend.
I won't say the name, but the second movie is, you say the name, and it's Farewell to Flesh.
There you go.
And
if you can't guess that first, you can just look it up and find it. But they're also making a remake of it. I will not watch it.
I'm excited.
I won't. No.
I'm excited.
I saw that movie when I was 5 years old.
Aww.
Oh yeah, I saw it when I was young.
Oh, I saw Dracula and Rocky Horror when I was that age.
Yeah, I saw that when I was 5. Scared the shit out of me, and no thank you. But other than that, one of the other ones that really stuck with me were giving me nightmares for 2 weeks straight was Jeepers Creepers.
Like, but you like know the story. Like, we can like the movie, but like don't support the director and everything.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
If you don't know what the backstory is with the Jeepers Creepers,
don't get in trouble with it. Don't say it. The guy's just a dick.
Yeah, you can look it up on your own. We're not gonna.
We get in legal trouble with it for bashing someone and that, but the director's just an asshole.
So we have your top 2 that like personally scared you.
Other than that, those are the only ones that really scared me. Like I've watched a lot, creeps me out, but other than that, I'm good.
Well, my movie, I have a very overactive imagination, so horror movies always scare me, but I love them. The number 1 movie that actually like terrified me and I could not sleep forever was the original The Haunting. It was black and white. It's rated G, and that thing.
Don't know why it's rated G.
Well, you don't see anything.
You don't see anything, but you hear all the shit that happens.
Yeah, you see, and you see like the door getting pushed in, or there's a scene with Eleanor and she just like zooms in on the wall and it like distorts into like a face if you have an imagination like me, and you just hear like this muffled man yelling and like this little girl crying, and it's just ugh. Like my mom, I hadn't watched it before. My mom came in my room and she's like, "Hey, The Haunting's on. You want to watch it with me?" I'm like, "No, I'm an adult. I can do it." Halfway through, I go out and watch it with her, and she's like, "Oh, did you get scared?" I'm like, No. I just figured I'd watch it with you. You know, mother-daughter activity. My mind was going, "This is the most terrifying movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Why did you let me watch this?"
Yeah, but I'm kind of for. I know they're making another Conjuring. Don't know, but I think they are. Let me rephrase that. I believe they are making another one. Not sure, but I believe they are.
Like, we want like original horror. Like if you haven't seen Oculus.
No, I'm not.
But I've seen Oculus, and that
involves mirrors.
Yeah, and it was so good.
Mirrors alone are a creepy thing to think about with paranormal and all that shit, especially with portals.
I mean, that's where Insidious, I think, went downhill. The first one was actually really well done, I think.
Yes.
And then afterwards, I'm just like...
I heard a lot of good stuff about the first one. Like, it terrified a lot of people. But when it came to the second one, there's 2 more, right? Series 2 and Series... I think they're in the process of making a 3rd one.
I have no idea.
No, I saw...
I've never seen the Insidious 3, though.
Yes, they are making a 3rd one.
I thought it already came out.
No, I believe it's still in production.
I don't know. But like the first one was well done, and then with the whole like other world and everything, and afterwards it just got dumb in my opinion. And of course, my favorite horror movie you haven't seen, Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah, not yet.
Love Trick or Treat.
And I own it too. I bought it for her. I haven't even seen it yet. I bought the damn movie.
Yeah,
have it.
It was my birthday.
I haven't watched it. Yeah, it was your birthday present.
And that one's a great anthology. Like if you like Tales from the Crypt or Creepshow, Tales from the Hood.
Excuse me. The fuck?
I don't know, maybe my parents.
No, they're asleep. It's 22:34. They're asleep.
I don't know, it might be a raccoon.
Raccoon or a coyote.
Yeah.
Bobcat, mountain lion.
Who knows? But that's a great anthology. Maybe we'll watch it tonight so you can see what I'm talking about.
Maybe.
Like, I'm so excited. Spirit Halloween is like, they have like all this stuff. I love Sam, and like they have the mask. I love it. So that's like my favorite. Those two, The Haunting and Trick or Treat. You did like the remake. We both like the remake of 13 Ghosts.
Yes, that is really good.
And I've seen the original. You have not. So my brother and I, as you can probably guess, my brother and I grew up with all the black and white original horror movies, like of The Uninvited, 13 Ghosts, The Haunting, House on Haunted Hill. And with the remakes, the 13 Ghosts one is our favorite because they just took the premise of 13 Ghosts and this family inherits a house and then they just made it their own. It was so refreshing to see, not just a rehash. The remake of House on Haunted Hill has a special place in my heart because Jeffrey Rush looks just like Vincent Price, and they made the last name Price because Vincent Price is one of my husband's. The picture I drew is like in our room of Vincent Price. I love Vincent Price.
But let's see, what else is there? Trying to use like some off ones that I think I've seen, but I don't think you have, but I can't really come to mind.
Yeah, it'd be more of Isla say something and you say if you've seen it, Pumpkinhead.
Dear God, those graphics. Dear God.
Classic.
They were good. They had their moments in there. They were good, but they made too many.
Classic.
They just made way too many.
One we liked, I don't think you've seen, is Frankenstein's Army.
No, not yet.
That one was so interesting. Sorry, it's really cold. My nose is running. Like, we just put it, my dad, my brother, and I, we would just, like, put on random, like, Netflix movies. And, Frankenstein Army was one. It was all, like, point of view, and it was so unique and original. We just loved it. So you haven't seen Frankenstein's Army, I think it's on Prime or Netflix. Definitely give Frankenstein's Army a watch.
But other than that, it's just...
You like Cube.
Yeah, that's
more a suspense.
That's a suspense horror because it's how fucked up it is.
Yeah.
That's all that one is. But really, genres, positions like doing like vampires we've seen, or like horror movies that suck, horror movies that are good, to go with it. And that's what the premise of this episode was to just get that out there, because we know the first episode wasn't the best. Not really.
This is more loosey-goosey, saying like, yeah, we know what we're talking about. We do love horror. I've seen way more than he has.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, though.
But our next episode, we're going into haunted castles, and I'm gonna be looking at some cryptozoology for around the area, and hopefully we can get some fan stories in here, or so we can get her cousin here to tell us one of his stories, or just have him write in and we can read it out to you guys what his personal experience was.
Yeah, I think I can get him to do that. I think it's back still out.
Okay. But other than that, we're going to close it out here. We hope you guys can like the video, share the video with your friends, show it to our channel. We know we're just starting, we know it's not the best, but we're trying to get it out there as much as we can.
YouTube is just so you can have a face to the voice, and I can practice my editing skills because I'm still a techie. The whole thing is just us.
Yeah.
Mainly, like, we spent the past, like, week just researching, trying to find stories that we can tell, because we don't want to, like, take someone's stories off of Reddit and just be like, blah, 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 and somebody get mad at us.
Yeah, and that's why we're asking to go ahead and send your stuff in. We will keep your name anonymous if you want to, or you can go ahead and say you can use my name in the story for what's happened to you or what you've seen.
And we do have we have our own subreddit.
Yes,
it is not the name of Crimson Chaos. It is So Weird Stories.
All one word. Because
I love the show So Weird from Disney Channel.
So you can go ahead and submit your stories there. I check it every day, so if you send a message on there, me or her shall reply to you. There isn't a moderator on there. He will reply to you as well if we can't get to you guys. We do have our website.
Yep.
It's connected to our Facebook and everything else, so you can send stuff in there. We'll get those in our emails.
We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
And those are all Crimson Chaos Stories. The names for those are all of that.
The Twitter's a little different. It's like Crimson__chaos.
Yeah.
Because, Twitter.
Yeah.
And everything.
But you can find us all in there. Like I said, the next podcast we do will be haunted castles, cryptozoology, and hopefully some personal stories that are sent in to us. But for now, this was a laid-back episode of talking with you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
All right.
See you later.
Spooky.